Hello, time travelers, and welcome to Time Warp Thursday, Season 2, Episode 125 of Talk Radio. Today is Thursday, July 17th, 2025, and if you're counting, and you know we are officially 53.97% of the year, or of the way through the year. That's 28 weeks in one day, or 197 days. If you're feeling a little timeless, maybe it's because we've been spinning through 4,728 hours, 283,680 minutes, and 17,020,800 seconds of 2025 so far. Whew! That took around your brain for a second. Let that tick around your brain for a second. That's a lot of time spent. Now, whether you're listening from the future, the past, or just stuck in Lakewood traffic, we're glad you're here. Every Thursday, we journey across the strangest timelines, explore real-life mysteries, and take a deep dive into local legends, global history, and time-warped tales that make you think twice about what's real and what's rumor. Today, no exception. We've got community updates, an ancient enigma, and a code so baffling it's either a treasure map or the world's greatest hoax. Yep, we're talking about the Beale Ciphers. But more on that in a moment. So grab your tinfoil hat, your decoder ring, and a strong cup of cold brew, because Time Warp Thursday starts now.
The following is rated TV MA and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hi, welcome back. First up is Lakewood Legends on Time Warp Thursday. This is a regular for Time Warp Thursday. Lakewood Legends. The business spotlight this week is the B&I Circus Store. This week, we're shining our spotlight on one of Lakewood's most unforgettable landmarks, the B&I Circus Store. What began in 1945 as a modest Army surplus outlet grew into one of the wildest and most whimsical places to shop on the West Coast. Founded by World War II veterans M. Leo Bradshaw and Earl Leonard Irwin, the B&I started out with tents and military gear, but Irwin had a vision. He turned it into a full-on shopping spectacle. By the 1950s, it was billed as the biggest little store in the world, and that wasn't an exaggeration. Inside its 110,000 square feet, you'd find a merry-go-round spinning next to a hardware aisle, arcade games lighting up the path to the food court, and live animals from snakes and lions to elephants and a certain famous gorilla. That's right, Ivan the gorilla. Ivan arrived as a baby in the mid-60s, part of a pet store promotion gone wild. Raised like a child by a local family, he wore clothes, watched TV, and even rode a motorcycle before outgrowing home life. In 1967, the B&I built him a $60,000 indoor enclosure, complete with heated floors, a pool, a kitchen, and a swing bar. Ivan spent nearly 30 years living inside the store. People from all over came to see him, making the B&I a one-of-a-kind roadside attraction. But by the early 90s, animal welfare advocates pushed for a better life for him. In 1994, Ivan was flown first class to Zoo Atlanta, where he lived among other gorillas until his passing in 2012 at the age of 50. 50? I'm 50. Does that mean my time's coming to an end? Anyway, his story inspired the children's book, The One and Only Ivan, which won a Newbery Medal and was eventually made into a Disney movie. Today you can visit his bronze statue at Tacoma's Point Defiance Zoo. Back at the B&I after founder Irwin's death in 1973, the circus vibe began to fade. The animals were phased out, and by the 2000s, the space transitioned into the B&I public marketplace, home to a patchwork of small businesses, shops, and arcades. You can still catch glimpses of its eccentric past, old Ivan posters, faded murals, and a vibe that's equal parts flea market and time machine. So whether you remember the roar of lions while shopping for socks, or you just heard tales of the gorilla in the mall, one thing's clear: the B&I Circus Store is a true Lakewood legend. Now, neighborhood notes. These are just little notes from the neighborhoods. Over in Tacoma's K Street area, now known as Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, local families still reminisce about the old Sears farm store and the independent appliance shop where neighbors gathered to watch new TV broadcasts. Back in the mid-1900s, K Street wasn't just a road, it was the neighborhood's lifeline. The area bustled with activity thanks to Tacoma's unique cable car system that brought shoppers first. On weekends, parents picked up hardware supplies while kids tugged them toward the appliance section, all hoping to catch a glimpse of the newest television models. At the Sears farm store, families didn't just shop, they socialized. you'd find neighbors gathering around a 9-inch black and white TV screen, craning their necks to catch the latest comedy or sports broadcast. It wasn't unusual for folks to linger long enough or long after a purchase, sharing stories, advice, and plenty of laughs over the soft hum of refrigerators and the buzz of fluorescent lights. Nearby repair shops added to the rhythm of the community. Bless you. People brought in their washers, radios, or fridges for repair and ended up swapping recipes or weekend plans while they waited. These spaces, half store, half social hub, wove people together in a way that modern big box retailer never could. Though the malls eventually pulled foot traffic away and the cable cars stopped running, those casual everyday connections are what many longtime residents still cherish. Back when chores turned into conversations and a small appliance store could be the center of an entire block's attention. Those were the moments that defined community. And those are the stories that remind us that Tacoma's heart has always been powered by its people. Now on to the art spot. Lakewood Town Center, built on the site of the old Villa Plaza, is more than just a shopping destination. It's a place where art and community intersect. Just outside City Hall, you'll find one of Lakewood's standout public art installations, a bold, colorful mural that's quickly become a favorite selfie backdrop and community symbol. The mural blends deep blues and lush greens, evoking the natural beauty of American Lake, Wagop Lake, and the region's many waterways. Interwoven geometric. I have to slow down sometimes. Geometric patterns ripple through the piece, symbolizing both the movement of water and the city's transformation over time. Installed as part of Lakewood's public art program and civic revitalization efforts. Following the town center's redevelopment in 2001, the mural reflects a pivotal moment in Lakewood's history. It stands not only as a tribute to the lakes that give the city its name, but also to the strength and resilience of a community that embraced change and came together to reimagine a space. This mural is just one piece of a broader effort, part of the city's commitment to public art that also includes signal box wraps, sculptural benches, and community exhibits inside City Hall. Together, they create a living canvas across the city. Next time you're at the town center, take a moment to stop by, snap a photo, and soak in a little bit of Lakewood's story painted proudly for all to see. Now, sound of the street. This week, kind of debuting a brand new segment called Sound of the Street. It's all about capturing the voices, stories, and everyday thoughts of folks right here in Lakewood, Tacoma, and our surrounding neighborhoods. No filters, no scripts, just real people and real talk. In future episodes, we'll be heading out to local parks, events, school games, and downtown hangouts with one simple question each week. Just one question. You might hear quick clips from students, shop owners, seniors, or even someone walking their dog. We'll ask things like, what's a memory that makes you smile? Or what's something you wish more people knew about this town? Then stitch those answers together so you hear the pulse of the community. This week, we didn't pose a question. And we just listened. And even without prompts, we heard some unexpected gems. A woman at the Lakewood Town Center shared a spooky memory about an old farmhouse in Steilacoom that used to cry at night. Her words, not mine. A skateboarder near Point Defiance told us about shadowy figures in the woods. And someone passing by the old B&I building swore there's an underground army surplus vault still sealed shut beneath it. This is what Sound of the Street is all about. Local voices, local flavor, and stories that you won't hear anywhere else. If you've got something to share, keep an ear out. We might be coming to your block sometime in the future. Now, we get into some of the Time Warp Thursday main segments here. And this week in time, July 17th to the 24th. Welcome back, time travelers. As we cruise through July, let's take a moment to peek into some remarkable moments from history that happened during this week, July 17th through July 24th, from now until next week at this time. First up, they're going to do July 16th, 1945. The world's first atomic bomb was tested in the New Mexico desert at the Trinity site. This groundbreaking yet terrifying test marked the dawn of the nuclear age, forever changing global politics and warfare. Then on July 17th, 1955, Disneyland opened its gates in Anaheim, California. Walt Disney's dream of a magical kingdom for families became a reality. Though opening day wasn't without its chaos, overcrowding, ride malfunctions, and hot California sun tested everyone's patience. Still, it launched what would become the happiest place on earth, enchanting millions for decades. Exactly 20 years later, on July 17th, 1975, something historic happened beyond Earth's atmosphere. The Apollo-Soyuz test project, the first joint space mission between the U.S. and the Soviet Union, saw astronauts and cosmonauts dock their spacecraft in orbit, exchanging handshakes that symbolized the hopeful thaw in Cold War tensions. Fast forward to July 20th, 1969, just a few days earlier in the month, but forever etched in history, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on the moon during the Apollo 11 mission. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, still echoes as one of humanity's greatest achievements. On July 21st, 1899, we go on 1899, the first Boston Marathon took place, launching what would become the world's oldest annual marathon and a celebration of endurance and community spirit. And more recently, on July 22nd, 2009, the legendary pop icon Michael Jackson passed away, leaving behind a massive cultural legacy that still influences music and dance worldwide. Finally, on July 24th, 1911, American explorer Hiram Bingham rediscovered the ancient Incan city of Machu Picchu. you.